Here we go. 11:30 on a Monday morning can only mean one thing. Dermot Gallagher is here for Ref Watch. Very good morning to you, Dermot. OK, let's start, shall we, at Old Trafford and those incidents in the FA Cup game between Manchester United and Fulham. First of all, let's get the basic one out the way first. Penalty and red card for Willian.
Yeah,
correct decision.
Once he gives a penalty, it has to be a red card, doesn't it? Because the ball's going in the net, stopping the goal. So the key decision is it handball? He goes to the screen, he decides it's handball. Once he gives handball, he's got to send off. That's a given. Was it William had his arms in like that? Because I'm trying to work out why Fulham were frustrated. That's why I'm... Is there any argument to say it wasn't a handball? Well, I thought it was handball. I think when Chris went to the screen, he thinks it's handball. As I say, once he gives handball, I think he's got to give a penalty.
Yeah, I'm not doing it just to be argumentative. There is a first time for everything.
All right, Rob.
I just trying to work out why Fulham was so frustrated. Right. Overall, Chris Kavanagh, how difficult a situation was this to handle, and how do you think he handled it?
Extremely difficult, and I think he showed composure. He showed confidence in himself. He showed his authority. And what I would say is, being put in that position and how he was reacted to so aggressively, not once but twice, because the player came back. He was under extreme pressure, and I think the way he kept his cool, the way he kept his focus was fantastic, because he's then got to referee another 20 minutes after that. Because
he hadn't yet shown Willian the red card. As he went over to the monitor, there was a very quick red card brandished towards Marco Silva. OK, what does a referee have to say? What line has to be stepped over for a referee to brandish a red card at that? Because he's very quick to get that red card out. So it must have been something very strong there. So we're guessing. And it's not a game I play, Rob. Seriously, we're guessing. He's encroached into an area he knows he's not meant to go. That's an area where the VAR is cordoned off. The referee goes to it. He looks at the monitor himself. So he's under no pressure from a manager. Marco Silva definitely come into there, you can see it. If he said something, I don't know. Referees don't give red cards, willy-nilly, so it must have been something that he's done or said that's upset him. Then we get on to Mitrovic. OK, did he have any option there?
No, it's just... I think you can't manhandle a referee. We spoke the other week about Fernandes when I was of the opinion that it wasn't a red card offence. I did say I don't condone anybody touching a referee, but I think this case was much more aggressive. He's got hold of the referee, he's pulled him back, he's got a red card, and what you saw after the red card was so aggressive and so nasty towards Chris. That's why I think he's done an absolute fantastic job for himself and for referees in general, because he showed that he just kept his cool. He didn't react to it, he didn't get sucked into that. And I can tell you, Rob, if we tease each other many, many times because we're friends, but if you reacted to me off screen like that, it takes a lot to keep your composure. He's there in heat of battle, big stadium, massive crowd, he just kept his cool, and I really, really do admire him, and I think he stood up for what referees stand for.
OK, you alluded to that Bruno Fernandes incident. This was at Anfield in the match there, where he grabs hold of the assistant referee. Right, so what is the difference? There he goes, gives him a push there.
Yeah.
What is the difference between the two? Because what people will say who are not fans of Manchester United, let's put it that way, or want to see consistency, could have some Man United fans, is there that Bruno Fernandes got away with that one, Mitrovic punished, and we don't know what length of punishment it will be for Mitrovic. For touching a referee, both touched an official in the game, so what's the difference?
Well, I said at the time, I don't condone what Fernandes did. I don't think it's wise, and I said that, I made it very clear, I don't think it's wise to touch a match official. I don't think that's violent, I don't think that's aggressive, I think that's petulant. And he could have easily got a yellow card for that, and I think people would have accepted that. I don't think it's a red card. I still don't think it's a red card offence, but I do think yesterday's is.
Yeah. Well, was there a danger by not punishing that incident that made it possible that something like this could happen, because they've looked at that and gone, well, OK, it's all right, you can touch an official, you don't get punished for it.
Rob, every case in refereeing, every decision is judged on its merit. I don't think any player will have seen Fernandes's incident and say, oh, that gives me license to do that. You know, that I can't imagine that for 1 second. I think they're two totally divorced situations in how the player is towards an official. As I say, neither player should have done what they did, but I think one player has gone far, far, far too far.
OK, as a former official, a former Premier League and international referee, he gets the automatic ban for the straight red card, but there is the option to add further sanction onto it. As someone who wants to protect referees, which you do, what sort of length of ban would be a significant measure to deter others from following it along that path?
Not for me to judge. And the reason I say that, Rob, I have my own thoughts about it, I have my own feelings about it, but at the moment there's a process, and that process is for the FA to decide. When they see Chris Kavanagh's report, when they see the video, it's for them to decide, it's them to speak to the player, Fulham's management team, and then decide. It's not for me to decide.
But do you expect for him to be sanctioned further beyond the statutory term of the ban? And if he wasn't, would you be disappointed?
As I said, not for me to decide.
Not going to get that out of him, am I? I've tried 2 different ways there. Let's go to Stephen. First of all, do you understand the connection and the argument between the Bruno Fernandes incident and the incident yesterday?
To a certain degree, yes. However, when you look at the Bruno Fernandes one, it was actually instigated by the assistant referee, who was the first one to put hands on Bruno Fernandes. So I think that changes it a little bit. I think Bruno Fernandes reacted to that a little bit. I still don't think you should put your hands on officials. I don't think it's... I think there's obviously... Even now when you see it, for some reason it feels uncomfortable to me when I see a referee or an assistant referee chatting to a player and they've got their arm on the shoulder or their hand close to them. It doesn't sit right with me. It's almost, I don't know why, but it's just the way we grew up. It was that you'd never sort of touched enough, like put your hands anywhere near. It was just one of those things. So, but I think with the Mitrovic case yesterday, it was more aggressive. You could see the body language in which it came across towards the referee. It didn't stop at just the initial shove, did it? Then it continued into marching forward to backing the referee off as well, which is never a good look.
So it's not the first time we've visited this point. Would you like to see the situation where only a captain can speak to the referee? If any other player goes there, it's an automatic yellow card, and if anybody does what Mitrovic does, quite rightly, it's a red card. Would you like to see that sort of written down clearly so everybody knows?
Yeah, I think so, because I think referees, officials, I think they do need protection. And I don't like it when, you know, a massive group of players all go round and they're all having a go at the referee. That's not fair, and that's not right. I think there needs to be some sort of protection. So if you know that it's just the captain that goes up and they can have a conversation with the referee and they can say what the players want them to say, I just think that's a better way of going about it. So yeah, I think I'd like to see that. But I think for both of those incidents, I'd have probably liked to have seen both of the players punished. You know, I think I know what you're saying. I think the Mitrovic one, I think he was far more aggressive than Bruno Fernandes, but I still don't think he should have touched the referee in the way that he did. So that's just my opinion on it, and I think it needs to stop because it's not right. So that would be a way of doing it, that just the captain goes up and speaks to the officials.
Well, the sad thing is as we know, Dermot, it gets mirrored down football, doesn't it? Grassroots football, hard enough to referee in without the players down there watching that and mimicking it.